Look, man, today is Monday, man. We back with a brand new video. I think today might just be some sports Monday, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know, bro. We gonna see what I upload today. But yeah, we got this first video, man. The same logic of pro baseball. Let's get into it. I feel like baseball is I feel like it's hard to hit a baseball, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was easy to hit a baseball, but I think hitting a baseball is actually hard. You really have to have, like, I don't know, bro. It's really hard. Okay, now softball, come on now. That's easy. Baseball is kind of hard. I don't know.
At all times, at least one of the United States' four major men's professional sports leagues, the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, and MLB, is in season. So all year, roving packs of enormous dudes, their staffs, and their stuff endlessly crisscross our great continent. To the layman, this seems exciting because sports are fun. To me, this is exciting because logistics. Think about it. How do you move all this from point A to point B, let alone point C? I could make a video about any league's travel, but today we're focusing on Major League Baseball. Two reasons. One, my writer Amy is always talking about it anyway, and two, MLB's 6-month regular season involves a staggering 2,430 games. Baseball teams play nearly twice as many games as skaters or hoopsters, and
162 games a year. Is that counting plus the playoffs, or that's just the regular season? 82 games. In the 82, bro, imagine baseball, 162 games, bro, per season. That's insane, bro. That's crazy. But I mean, they do play what? They play what? Back to back to back to back sometimes. But
way more than these fellas. Here's what 1 month of one season of baseball travel looks like for one team. Multiply that by 30, and that's what MLB has going on. How do you organize that? It starts with the schedule. The season goes from late March to September, mostly comprising 3-game series in single cities with very few days off. So, for example, the Kansas City Royals start July of 2025 with 3 games in Seattle, then fly down for 3 more in Phoenix, then fly home for 3 more in Kansas City before getting a break. Teams are only required to schedule an off day after 20 straight days of games and aren't allowed more than 2 in a week. Because the travel can be so brutal, players get an off day between series in the Eastern time zone and Pacific time zone, but even that has 14 exceptions. The schedule is so tight that teams usually start preparing to travel before a game even ends, arrive in the new city overnight, then play the very next day. The game before your team travels is called a getaway game, and this formula dictates its start time. 7 p.m. minus a value equal to the flight time between your current city and the next one per this chart, minus 2.5 hours. This intends to get teams to their next city by about 1 a.m., barring an overly long getaway game. Most teams just schedule getaways in the afternoon, but some, cough, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, are notorious for starting them as late as possible to the constant chagrin of their players. So how do the travel days go? That's up to each team's travel director, or travel manager, or logistics baboon.
Bro, I think that's insane, bro. You telling me they get, what, a day's rest? What? They can't get like 2 days up, bro. 3 games? I feel like they should just, if you doing that, you might as well just shorten the season. Like, gang, 162. Then they're playing almost 200 games a season, bro. What the fuck? And that's not even including the playoffs if you make it in the playoffs.
Or whatever each team calls the position. They start plotting a season's travel in May or June, a year in advance, coordinating everything from charter flights to semi-trucks to suitcases to coach buses to hotels and beyond. And on a getaway day, they're about as busy as any of the players. As soon as the baseball team throws the first pitch, the travel and equipment teams start packing for the road. And they don't pack light. By one account, the Arizona Diamondbacks travel with 8,000 pounds of gear, like baseballs, bats, mitts, training equipment, medical supplies, etc., and 4,500 pounds of luggage. Everything not being used on the field is packed onto a semi-truck by the 8th inning. In the meantime, the travel director is locking a departure time for their team's charter flight. Most teams use Delta or United. They also coordinate with the coach bus that will bring the team to the airport and hold a security briefing about the next city, hotel, and stadium. As soon as the game is over, players pack their uniforms, personal items, preferred bats, and other equipment into identical name-tag suitcases for the equipment folk to pack and move. Then they do post-game interviews, shower, and hit the road. The bus takes them directly to the tarmac. Some teams do airport security at the...
See, the thing, I kind of feel like, bro, like, I think it's kind of sucks, bro. Like, if you a team from the West Coast, you playing a team from the West Coast, then you got to go all the way to the East Coast the next day or like the night after the game. I feel like if you're a West Coast team, bro, like at least like say like if you like the Padres, but like I feel like in that span, they should literally play, you know what I'm saying, like the Angels, the Dodgers for 3 games, then maybe go up to like Oakland, play the Athletics, maybe play the Giants, maybe Arizona Diamondbacks, something like that that's closer to where they don't gotta play the San Francisco Giants, then travel all the way to like Boston or New York to play them. Like, come on, bro, that's gonna be tiring. Come on, don't you think that's tiring, bro? You're a team that's on the West Coast, playing the team that's on the West Coast, then you gotta travel all the way across the country to New York, Boston, some shit like that, Maryland, some shit to play a team in the East Coast. Like the game is over, then you gotta travel. You get no rest. You probably gotta eat on the bus, get no sleep. Like, and don't let a game be in the morning like 10 o'clock, 11. Like, bro, what the
Stadium before they leave. You know what I'm saying? Others do it right outside the plane, but either way, you won't see them in line at TSA. The equipment team loads their bags and gear into the cargo hold in advance, so once the traveling party, i.e. the team, their interpreters, their trainers, their equipment managers, etc., board, it's time for takeoff. Team planes, by the way, are not created equal. The Dodgers, one of the richest teams in the league, flies 2 planes anywhere they go. One for the players, one for the entourage. The Yankees, one of the other richest teams, as of a few years ago, didn't even pay for their players to have in-flight Wi-Fi. Some teams have custom plane interiors with poker tables and lie-flat beds or extra first-class seats. Some do not. One team, the Detroit Tigers, actually owns their own plane, a 737 they share with the Detroit Red Wings. When a plane lands, players get bused to their hotel, which is, quote, first class per union contract, and their bags get brought to them.
Shout out to Detroit, man. You know what I'm saying? I got family out there up in Michigan. I'm not gonna lie, Detroit teams are going back to what they used to be, man. And that's good for the league. Detroit teams are going back to what they used to be. The Tigers are kind of getting there. The Red Wings kind of getting there. The Lions already there, how they used to be. You know what I'm saying? And then the Pistons are going back to kind of what it used to be in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s when they're known for what? Defense, hard mouth, won't punch you in the mouth. They're going back to that. They got Isaiah Stewart, crash out nigga. Jalen Duren, he's a monster. I feel like he can be better than Ben Wallace. Maybe. I don't know, but I feel like he doesn't even have the hunger that has Ben Wallace had on defense. But I feel like Jalen Duren can be a two-way player. I feel like Jalen Duren can at least get a midi, maybe a decent three-pointer, a corner three, something like that. I'm telling you right now. That Detroit team is going to be nice. I'm telling you right now. I feel like they could have beat the Knicks, and then they just had Jaden Ivey. I'm telling you, Detroit going to be one of these teams in the Eastern Conference that's going to be a team that you got to watch out for. I'm telling you, in line. Kate Cunningham with Jaden Ivey. Then you got a veteran in Tobias Harris. Bro, I'm telling you right now, Detroit. I'm telling you right now, bro.
Their rooms. Every hotel gets approved by the team's player representative before the season starts and, per the contract, has food available until at least 1 a.m. As an example, the Mets, when in Washington, D.C., stay at the Ritz-Carlton. Once everyone and all their stuff is safely in their rooms for the night, it's bedtime. The next day, all their gear gets trucked over to the new stadium. Trainers set up their weight room, and the equipment team sets up the locker room and dugout with each player's uniforms, preferred bats, etc. There are always 2 buses from the hotel to the stadium for players, one for the early risers and one for the sleepyheads. Once they're there, they get ready, warm up, play 3 games, and do it all again. That's what happens on a regular day during the regular season. But travel managers deal with many irregular situations. As an example, let's time travel to September 24th, 2024. The New York Mets are playing their first of 3 games in Atlanta, but Hurricane Helene threatens the next 2 and their ability to get to Milwaukee for their series that starts on the 27th. Their travel guy, Edgar Suero, has
what? Hold on, they played the Braves back to back to back, then travel to fucking Milwaukee and play back to back to... Nigga, that's 6 games in 6 days? No fucking rest? What the fuck?
To move up their charter flight and has their hotel in Milwaukee.
That's like the NFL or the NBA playing back to back to back. Then playing back. Imagine the NFL doing some shit like this. Oh yeah. The fuck? Even the NBA. Like NBA has back to back But imagine them niggas doing back to back to back, then travel to like fucking Florida and play back to back to.
Get their
baseball, y'all niggas got it, bro.
of rooms
I don't know how y'all do that.
Early.
Y'all got it though.
The guys get to
Y'all got
Milwaukee,
it,
then play their games as scheduled, then Swear coordinates flights, buses, and hotels back to Atlanta on the 29th because they're playing a makeup doubleheader on the 30th. The Mets win one, securing a spot in the playoffs, which start the very next day. The thing is, their opponent in that first playoff round could be any of 3 teams, so the next day, they could play again in Atlanta, or back in Milwaukee, or all the way in San Diego. So Suera books first-class hotel blocks in all 3 cities for that series, as well as later in every city they might play in up to the hypothetical World Series, even though most of those reservations won't be used. Not all travel is team travel. Sometimes a team brings a guy up from the minor leagues or trades for a guy from a different team. When they do, the team has to physically get him to wherever they are. They can fly him private or commercial, but if it's commercial, it has to be first class and nonstop. If first class isn't available, it must be business. If business isn't available, he can be in coach, but they also have to buy 3 seats for every 2 guys. And it's one thing to rush a guy in for some home games, but in 2024, the San Diego Padres had to rush a guy to South Korea. They were starting their season there and acquired pitcher Dylan Cease while they were boarding their charter flight to Seoul. Their travel manager scrambled to get him out there in time, eventually settling for flying him commercial from Arizona with a connection through Los Angeles, and working with MLB and the South Korean consulate to expedite a short-term work visa to allow him to play. The trade happened on a Wednesday. He was on a plane Thursday. He was on the pitcher's mound Monday. That's the game. Get your guys in the air, in their beds, on buses, then on fields, no matter the cost. It may not get the same glory as whacking dingers or winning.
Nah, bro, just imagine you getting traded, bro. Bro, just imagine you getting traded, right? And you getting traded to the team that you're literally playing. So how does that work? Like, imagine you getting traded to the team, like, before the game that you're playing next. How does that shit work? Like, you go to their... That shit is... Bro, imagine that you fucking have your teammates, and then you get alert, oh, you've been traded to the team that you're playing right here. What the fuck? Oh yeah, what's up, new teammates? Yo, that shit weird. I think there was literally a trade in the NBA. Somebody literally got traded, like, I think to like the Sixers. It was some shit like that, and they were playing literally them like that day. It's crazy.
But to those of us with a taste
crazy.
for logistics, MLB travel managers are the real all-stars. That's why I'm writing them all in on my next all-star game ballot. So, a 2,430 game season may seem long, but it's only about 7,290 hours. That's nothing compared to this video sponsor, 80,000.
Yeah, buddy. You got it, buddy. Anyway, man, that's pretty much it for the video, bro. Look, let me know. I didn't know that about pro baseball. That's crazy. 162 games a season. That's not even including the playoffs. On top of that, triple header back to back to back, then they gotta travel back to play another game back to back to back. Yeah, baseball, y'all niggas got it. I don't know how y'all do that, bro. Yeah.